This is my wife, Katelyn.
Hi,
Hello.
Caitlin.
Hello.
My name is
This is the
Theo.
guy I've been spending most of my time with.
Ah, you're the
Uh,
other spouse. Gotcha.
hmm I try not to steal him from you, but he talks for so long, it just.
I do know.
oh, it's another beautiful day in Phoenix. Car's temperature reads a nice, cool 97 degrees.
That's cold.
It's 97 down there? Shit.
Yeah.
Usually in the shade, yeah, it's about 97.
That's so hot. Why?
So nice. There's no humidity, man. I think when you think hot, you include humidity in that
Oh,
pain.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm,
It's so
Yeah, there's
bad
no
here.
humidity.
totally different.
You're not you're not sweating from every fold, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you came up here and it was 97, you wouldn't be able to breathe. You'd fall on the ground and
No.
be like,
You
where is the
die.
air?
It would be death. It would just be the most miserable thing on earth.
It's awful.
Well, I was over in Odington not that long ago, and it was maybe 70 degrees out, and the humidity was like 80%, and I thought I was literally going to die.
So we feel you, man. We feel you. When you hear 97, you go, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" But the truth is, it's actually quite pleasant with no humidity. It, the wind blows and it doesn't take your breath away. It just feels like you know that picture. There's a meme that circulated a long time ago. It was of Nicolas Cage, I think in Con Air, when he's like feeling the wind with his face. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now imagine that's like a hair dryer blowing in your face, and that's us, man.
It's 66 and cloudy up here, and I want it to stay that way forever.
I don't blame you, man. I'm from Washington State, and that's exactly how we wanted it.
Yeah, New England ain't no joke. It'll be 87 and tomorrow. Day after that, it'll be snowing.
So you were checking out bespoke tranches.
Trying to.
What so you got into CDOs, obviously. Do you know what CLOs are?
Isn't it like kind of the same thing?
Oh, yeah, I guess, kind of like how one gym is kind of the same thing as another, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So every time when you try to get into the bespoke opportunities, they just bring up the CDOs, CLOs, and all that shit. They don't go into what the hell's going on right now.
So, what a CLO is, see, the CDOs were all based on mortgages,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea was the mortgages would get paid because people wouldn't want to be homeless, and so that was the fallacy in the solidarity of the plan, if that makes sense.
Yes.
What they didn't realize was when it becomes too expensive, the people raise up their middle finger and move along, no matter what the cost to their family, unfortunately, because you've just forced a major crazy move. So, CLOs, credit cards, short-term loans, car notes. You know, the stuff that people are always paying
Yeah.
back and never defaulting and
Yep. I think I just defaulted last year. I consolidated.
and it's crazy.
Dude, they
It's
didn't even
crazy
like ask
because
for any money. They were like, "Oh yeah, here you go. Here's money. We'll pay all your credit cards."
yep, yeah,
My
we'll
my
take it on.
Yeah,
We'll
and
own
my
you.
pay didn't even go up. Like my monthly payment didn't even go up. It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, you got owned, you got bought. It's crazy, man. It's weird. They do that all the time. They sell debt all the time, and that's what this is like. The government prints their money, and they lock it up into like bonds, and then they force people to borrow it. Then they sell that debt, and they just keep doing that over and over again.
Yeah, I needed a car though back in the day, which is how I ended up with it. And I'm still paying the loan, and the car is long gone.
Oh yeah, well that's how it goes, man. That's called unfortunately using purchasing power you don't actually have. That's what
Oh yeah,
credit is.
absolutely. Yeah, that's
You know,
I knew what I was doing.
sure. So yeah, CLOs, man. That's what the entire economy was apparently propped up on, was car notes, credit cards. How many credit cards were we able to get in like a 6 month span or something like that?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. And all with absurd limits, right? And we both were barely working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people were getting homes about that easily back in the bubble.
And so that's happening right now with CLOs, you said?
Yeah.
Bad?
Yeah. I mean, you've got good debt, you've got bad debt, but it's already been proven that the banking establishments obviously are looking out for themselves first. So
And the bespoke stuff, now that's a CLO?
bespoke tranche is just a flowery way of saying multiple points of contact to different debt.
What do you mean?
Bespoke is like a wheel, like a basically imagine on the axle you've got all the spokes coming off of an old school bicycle wheel.
Mm.
So it's just you've got tons and tons of different debt that it's all built upon, if that makes sense. It's a giant web.
Of debt.
And it's all reinvested into itself on top of itself. It's sort of like the DeFi market right now and the DAO market and all that fun stuff in crypto with ETH.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So are they repackaging and reselling debt over and over again? Is that what's going on?
Absolutely.
And no one's paying the debt.
Ultimately, a lot of it is worse than it's purported to be, supposedly. At least that's what it's been proven in the past to be pawned off as. People's greed got the best of them.
Now is the government faking again? Are they lying again? Well,
No, there's no bailout
but...
coming this time apparently, but
okay.
Maybe there won't need to be. I don't know.
No, that's interesting. Because CLOs, you don't really hear a lot about any of that.
Would you want to?
Well, I would, but I guess I don't know. I guess the normal person wouldn't care.
Tell me what the normal person, Katelyn, what the normal person's reaction back in the bubble, and then what you saw in the homes that you came across. What the normal person's reaction to media and what the banks were saying and everything.
So the normal reaction was literally, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. So when everything happened, after like usually about average 6 months of your low payments for your gigantic, really expensive house, the payments went up triple, quadruple the amount. And everyone who signed their contract either didn't read it or it wasn't necessarily in the contract that that's going to happen. So as soon as those big amounts come in, the natural thing that people do because of what they see on media, what they see on TV and everything, is I can't afford this, we're going to get kicked out, so we're just literally going to move what we can, shut the door, and pretend it never happened. And so it was either that or you had people who were like, I'm not going to leave this house, you did me dirty, I'm going to stay here, but I'm not going to pay. So you either had legit abandoned homes that haven't been touched for years, abandoned homes that have been taken over by squatters, or people who you can tell are very low income, just trying to make the best out of their situation and still being like, I'm not leaving this place. This is my house. They did me dirty. And so we would either come across completely abandoned, like everything still just kind of left from 2008 homes, or absolutely destroyed homes. I mean, there was one house that you could tell was abandoned just from a Google image of the house because all of the garbage was literally being thrown into the pool from the squatter that was living there. And you just see a pool full of black, absolutely gross, nasty shit in it. And you could tell that they weren't getting their garbage picked up because they couldn't pay it. And just is nasty. It's gross.
Now,
Weird.
now were people? You're saying these people like were afraid of what they owed. Were certain people let off the hook? Like what happened with all that?
So, absolutely, some people were let off the hook, but a lot of people don't know that they're let off the hook. It was either, yeah, they don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean they don't know they're off the hook?
So what I mean by they don't know they're off the hook, in 2008, when the crash happened, a lot of banks actually closed up, which means they had no parent company, nobody bought them out during a bankruptcy, how we usually see it. It was straight up door shut, business is gone, and that's it. So with those loans that were through the banks, because the bank no longer exists, technically these loans no longer exist. And if you continue paying the money, who the hell knows where this money is actually going because the banks can't take it if they're not there. So a lot of people are off the hook for what they owe. They just don't know it because they haven't done research on the bank that they initially got their loan from.
Oh, this is rough too, because I heard about this on the opposite end where lawyers and stuff, they'll actually like just pay interns pennies to go through just boxes and boxes of old claims from like these banks and these debt companies just for the law firm to get extra money. They would collect this money from people who thought they owed stuff.
Yep, absolutely. So I mean, like,
How many of these loans did you come across that got repurchased by modern banks sometime after their quote unquote forbearance period or whatever?
I'm trying to think. I'm going through my head, like, visually what I've seen. I would say maybe only about a third. And it's really it's the bigger banks that are running now. It's like Chase, it's Bank of America, it's Wells Fargo. They picked up these loans because, I mean, why not? It's literally free money. They never gave out the loan. They're just receiving it back. So they picked up some of these loans. But the thing is, if you go to them about it, they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll just let it slide. Here you go. Here's your paperwork. And then you don't have to pay anymore because they don't want to. There's really, I'm trying to think of a way to put it. There's no like history. There's no paperwork in the long run to say that that money should be going to this new bank.
Is
Chase Bank
is it
America.
possible that these banks also took those homes as losses and can no longer receive money on their behalf?
Absolutely, which then you can turn around and use that 3-letter word and sue the banks for the money that you gave them that they can't claim.
And that was something that a lot of people don't know about credit is, if someone buys, say, your hospital bills, if you owe something to the hospital and the hospital sells that, well, you no longer technically have to pay that because the hospital sold it. You don't owe the hospital anything anymore, and you don't owe that company either. That was their choice to buy your debt.